We're live. Well, welcome back to another video. This is Angelus, and I'm here with my friend, Bart Mazer. He's going to tell you a little bit. Hey, say hi, Bart.
Hi, guys.
There you go. He's a phenomenal individual. A friend of mine, seen his beginning stories and his current story. I can just imagine his finish, his end game. It's going to be magnificent. It's going to be fantastic on levels I even can't imagine. But what are we talking about today? This channel is all about, from at least those who come every week, my fans, is about mindset, training your brain. Some people find it like difficult to conceive of the idea of how do you train your brain. You do it all the time, but you don't even know it. It's all about making a new habit that supports you, as opposed to an old habit, old story that doesn't support you. That's not nurturing. So, but before we go into the conversation, I want to introduce Bart. And by the way, he has a YouTube channel. And Bart, tell us what is your YouTube channel, and where can people come to see you?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is Bart Mazer, Money and Mindset. And I just want to thank you, Angelus, for having me on. You know, I know the message that you and Kim have been pushing out with Success Genie and all the other companies and things that you guys have with your coaching. So I really appreciate you taking the time to have me on and do that. So my channel is Bart Mazer, Money and Mindset, and it's focused on basic financial education. The problem with today's society is that basic finance isn't taught in school. There's not enough resources and structure that's in place in order to, educate the masses. So my goal with the channel is to provide a very basic level of financial knowledge. I don't get into stock picks. I don't get into, those types of things. I don't do the next meme stock or cryptos or anything like that. But it's really basic financial education and sound financial education that's lacking in our school systems, that people need the access to, that, I'm sure if a bunch of us got when we were 18, 19, 20, our lives would look a lot different right now. Totally.
I totally agree with you. This is very important for everybody out there. Just pay attention. This man, like I said, we're going to go through his life in a kind of a summary, and you're going to see, because a lot of people keep calling and talking to me saying, but it looks so hard. What? I don't understand. How can I change? It's like, we don't want you to change. I want to make that clear before we continue. We just want you to learn that there's a way to control what your thoughts are doing to you in creating the life that you don't want. So
right.
Once you're conscious of it, right, Bart, then you can change it and create the life that you can't even imagine, that's in fairy tales right now in the back of your subconscious. So
I wouldn't say I'm in fairy tales yet, but we're working on it.
Hey, believe me, I know where you're going. So you should see, right. The Mickey Mouse is right up there with you. You're going to be enjoying. I say that in a positive thing. He's creating Disney World and a half. So I look forward to it. But we're not talking about the future. We're talking about now. So
absolutely.
And the past. So tell me, Bart, what were you can give us some examples, 2 or 3 issues, pains, mindsets that just were not working for you and brought you to the need to seek out a change in your life, or professionals to help you, anybody.
Yeah. So for a while, I was part-time in my business, doing personal finance, selling insurance and investments, those types of things. And I decided to open my own office, and things were going well for a little while. And then I started to just have a little bit of trouble kind of launching on my own. And it's just started to really get to me in my mindset. And I started to not see the results I was hoping to see, started slipping a little into debt, and that debt kept spiraling and get bigger. And I felt like I was just working to pay the bills and I wasn't getting anywhere. So my mindset started slipping. And I had met you and Kim at a...
Hold on 1 second. What do you mean by slipping? I mean, how does your mindset slip? What do you mean by that? I mean, some people...
Well, I was in a very positive outlook on everything, and I felt like everything's going in the right direction. I'm seeing results, and then it started to go the other way. I had negative thoughts as I started to not see the results I was looking to see, because working within a group structure to working on your own and trying to create a new group structure, I didn't quite have the skill set to do that at the moment, but I thought I did. So I started getting negative thoughts, and I started to spiral down into this world of the belief. The belief structure wasn't there. I knew I had the skills and the work ethic, but for some reason the belief was stopping the work ethic from happening.
Absolutely. I can see that.
So when I met, you and Kim, I was all set. I didn't need a business coach. I was good. Everything was happy. And about
came in, didn't it?
months later, it was somewhere around Thanksgiving, and I was just having a rough time. And I called Kim, and I'm like, I'm ready. And I was drowning in debt, and I had about a little bit of stock left in a portfolio, and that was the last amount of accessible income or anything I had. And I used that to invest in your program so I sold literally every accessible thing I had available to me in order to get the training.
Wow. So, Anthony, you said something that Anthony Robbins, many times I've heard him say, that, it's like, well, if you don't change your mindset that's not supporting you, at some point the pain becomes so terrible, you force yourself to change. It doesn't matter. You hit it's like hitting the bottom of the barrel. That's what you basically are indicating.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to save my business and save everything going forward. And, so that's why I called you guys.
So now you went through programs, self-help books, videos, whatever, seminars, you invested in yourself. And it's not just us. I'm pretty sure you use other means. And I recommend everybody don't just use one source, use as many sources as possible. But when did you notice the click, the epiphany that, hey, wait a minute, this is probably working?
I think it was after your first program. I forgot, what do you guys call it again?
Unlock, was it? Your first program.
Yeah, maybe that one.
It was Unlock the Genie too.
That's what it was. So it was Unlock the Genie, that program. And really I was stuck in a mindset, and I didn't really quite have the observational skills of what I was doing. Like, I was focused in one thing, but I couldn't see outside of myself. And Kim had this phrase that stuck with me forever. And she's like, you can be right or you can get rich. And that one. That's one of my favorite ones. And that somehow stuck with me forever. And I was very stubborn. I'm a Taurus, so I'm extremely stubborn, if you follow the astrology stuff. So, so I had to do it my way. It was going to be this way. It was going to be this business and this specific thing. And it wasn't working. So, but I wanted to be wealthy because I wanted to give money away. I wanted to be a philanthropist. And, wow, I said that word correctly. I was pretty impressed with that. Usually it doesn't happen. So I wanted to be like the go-to person in my family. And I thought this was the method I was going to have because it was the only option I thought I had at that time.
Yes,
because of where my skill sets were from my past life and what I've done. None of those skills would have transferred to becoming wealthy. They would have just got me a nice $40,000 to $80,000 job at some point, and that would have been that. However, going through the mindset training, I was able to observe outside of myself and really take a step back and see that there's other possibilities in order to grow wealth and make those changes in order to do that. So I still have that business. I did take a step back from the business and pick up a 9-to-5 job in order to support a base level of income to get reset, and then now launch from there.
Hoorah.
Yeah. So there's other things too. Like my wife and I, we have rental real estate, which we've been growing our portfolio. And now I can see through that how that could be one avenue of producing that income, as well as starting a YouTube channel basically for my clients to have a resource. Now that I can see as a subscriber start to grow, that there is a path for additional income and wealth there. So now I'm seeing multiple things, as well as my, business, which I still work on pretty regularly, and I can handle all those different things, but it's not a laser focus on one thing that wasn't working. I needed to step back, use the mindset and the observation, and then.
So you're saying the epiphany started coming in, and you started, what this reminds me of? First time I bought a Lexus, and, I never owned a Lexus before. I'm an Audi guy myself, but I like it. So once I got the Lexus, I drove around just for a short period of time. Hey, I see them everywhere. They're all over the place. I like that one a little bit better than the one I have. Hey, that one's, no, I don't want to buy that. So I started, it's like a focus. All of a sudden you see the things that have always been there, invisible, the opportunities, and it's like magic. But it's very similar to that metaphor that I'm using now with Alexis, because I've seen everybody tell me the same thing. It's like all of a sudden out of thin air, I'm seeing everything there. That it was all there, but I never saw it in that kind of, that new focus, that new mindset that you're describing.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's fantastic. So then you are now at the point where, if I was to give you like a scale 1 to 10, 1 being when you started, changing your mindset, learning how to train your brain to think according to your will and needs, to your desires, from 1 to 10, where would you put yourself on that scale?
I'd say I'm probably like a 7.5, 8, only for the fact that I don't believe that there's a perfect 10. There's always room for improvement. There's always,
Thank you.
There's
excellent.
Always. Yeah. I don't think a 10 isn't it's not achievable.
No,
because if you're a 10, you're dead and you're already in spiritual form and floating around somewhere, and you've already hit enlightenment, right?
So you're absolutely right. In fact, I'm going back to what you just said a few minutes earlier. There's nothing wrong for you people out there, okay? For whatever reason, and I've met people who are financially well off, having a $40,000 job or $80,000 job. Some people are trained to do this, work for a company or make that kind of living. We're not talking that's what you got to stop doing. That you got to get out of that. We're saying you can still be an investor. You still can create that passive income, which Bart was referring to, but he didn't say. I want to make it clear. Passive income is nice when, say you lose that $80,000 job, that 6-figure job. People have, they don't know what to do. They have nothing to fall back on. And by training your brain to do what Bart has successfully done, and he's not even aware of what's still to come. This is going to allow you to be, I guess the word is, financial freedom has a different name, different meaning for different people. But as I see financial freedom is not to worry about, if my cat is sick, I can afford any operation for that cat. And not wonder, well, it's a cat, I don't know if we have this in the budget. Or if I get sick, or I have to go take care of a friend or family, I don't want to worry about where my money's coming from or going. This is what, wherever you're working in, whatever job you're in, or you're a solopreneur entrepreneur, you're working like Bart, you need to think, hey, what's wrong if I invest some of this money and put it here or put it there? And Bart has already gave you a couple of clues. Real estate is one fantastic way. And I'm digressing, but I want to stress this importance. If anybody out there is thinking about getting into real estate, just remember this. Back in I think Carnegie, in his days, he said 90% of the millionaires in his time all started with real estate. So, and one last thing before I finish this up, it's not about becoming a millionaire. It's not about becoming a billionaire. It's where you have money coming in all the time. Mailbox money is also called. And you are set. You don't have to worry about the money. Most people, 99.9% of people, have a lifestyle that they don't need to become a millionaire, billionaire to be set for life. So I don't want people to think, well, I'm at this age, I don't have time to be, I don't have time to save. I this and that. I missed the window. No, I've seen 60, 70, even an 80-year-old create passive income where they didn't quite hit $1 million, but it wasn't important anymore. They were taking care of all their needs to survive, and they could go anywhere. So wanted to make that clear, because some people think, oh man, now we're talking about being a millionaire. I don't know if no, it's about taking care of yourself, your friends, your family, where you can just, what do you want to do with your money that you make? Bart wants to be a philanthropist. Yeah. So I think that's a noble cause. But if you never, go ahead.
I mean, there was one of the things that really killed me is I'm in a good position, but I'm not in the perfect position. I was at the gas station the other day. There was a girl that was, complaining. She works there, a single mom, and she just had a $1,700 car bill for brakes or some kind of thing. It was in the shop. I just wish I was able to hand her $1,700 and say, here you go, no problem. But I'm getting there, but I'm not in that position yet. And that's my driving force, is to be able to just be like, hey, here you go. I got you. complete stranger, don't worry about it. That's kind of where I want to be in that position, is to do that. But going back to what you said a couple minutes ago, and it's a lot of people were talking about, or you were just talking about the millionaire and billionaire and that type of thing. It's not about the money. I just want to add this, is it's really about the person that you're becoming in order to get the money. Because that process of learning and developing yourself as an individual is really what helped me kind of grow to the point where, we live on one income and we save everything else, so but it was the process of who I had to become in order to do that. And that's really the driving force, because you can give anybody $1 million. You can give anybody $1 billion. I mean, lottery winners within 7 years are broke again. Big, a lot of times you see these big athletes. I'm not going to throw out names, but there's a lot of them that, made 50 billion or million in fights. And next thing you know, they've got no money. Why? Because they didn't develop themselves in their mind mentally to handle the money. So you can be a high income earner, but not be able to keep and retain it. And the person you become in that process is really, what their school and their classes are all about, is really helping you develop that mindset. And I am forever grateful for you and Kim for teaching me the tools and then allowing me to take those tools and run with it. I mean, you still got to do the work. You can get the tools, but if you ain't doing it, it doesn't matter.
You didn't do the work for you. You did the work. That's why I humbly congratulate you. You're the hero. And what Bart is saying is, it's happened to me, and I'll tell a true story real quick before I start ending this video. Bart is talking about training you how to fish, not to just give you a fish. Some people need a fish right away just to survive. Beyond that, I did an experiment a few years back, and this is true. And my wife will give you the details. Just tell you the summation of it. Took a gentleman out of the homeless shelter, gave him an apartment, rent-free. Okay, I told him if he's caretaker of the apartment, rent-free, and I helped him find a job with benefits, vacation pay, everything. Gave him transportation, basically, furniture. Everything he needed to just get on his feet, survive, and then thrive. A year later, he's back in the homeless shelter with less than what he started with. And then the experiment was to prove that if you just give a fish, Bart's saying philanthropists, the smart ones, they know how to set it up where it keeps generating that passive income for that cause. So this gentleman, I took him out, I gave him everything, and he lost everything. So it proved to me, it galvanized in me that, okay, no more giving money. That's the worst thing I could do to a person. No more taking care of people. I have to teach them how to take care of themselves, how to create their own money. And that starts here, like Bart was saying. If you're not creating the person first, the money won't follow.
Right.
Is that right, Bart? Okay. Perfect.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I needed to tell that story someday, and that was a perfect timing. So one last thing before we go, Bart's going to tell you where you can go check him out, either on Facebook or YouTube. And when you go to his YouTube channel, you better subscribe and like his videos. They're awesome.
Thanks.
Well, one last thing. Have you heard this before? Your needs are always met. I am wealthy, healthy in all areas of my life.
I trust success. Success trusts me. I manage my big rocks first. I focus my mind on positive thoughts. Yeah, no, I got it.
What is that all about? What does that mean? What did we just talk about?
So really, that's a tool. It's all your affirmations, but it's really developing your subconscious mindset. So basically, what that's all about is your mindset and really imprinting into your subconscious mind the correct programming. Your mind is almost like the software in a computer. If you give it the wrong number sequences, it's not going to operate correctly. So if you've got bad code, you've got to reprogram that code. So those affirmations and that list of affirmations really helps to reprogram and restructure the code. So that's kind of what, we spouted out. And that was an exercise that Angelus and Kim gave us. And I took it to memory and memorized it. And I say it every morning on my drive to work when I wake up. And I haven't missed it in probably 2.5 years now. I say it every single day. So yeah, and it's really reprogrammed and, you know, got my mindset in the right thing. So saying daily affirmations on what you want to happen, and becoming the person you want to become really is the key in order to imprint in your subconscious mind your future. And it's a perfect opportunity to plant what you want in life to happen. So
I can't say it any better. And on that, I want to thank you, Bart, for letting us, giving me the opportunity to talk with you, have a small conversation. I hope this video has helped or will help or inspire people out there who are struggling or wondering, how can I do it? Well, we both have our stories. And believe me, Bart gave you part of his. You will eventually learn mine. I started from really, really humble beginnings, struggling, suffering physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. And you can do it too. So going forwards, thank you, Bart. One last time, can you tell people your website and where they can? I'm going to put it in the field below, but I want to make sure it comes from the horse's mouth.
So it's youtube.com/Bart Mazer. Pretty simple. And then you can find me on Facebook at Bart Mazer. Money and Mindset is the fan page. Also on Instagram, Bart Mazer 1. So you can catch me on there. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm pretty much everywhere. So you can find me. I'm very Googleable. So BartMazur.
Excellent. Thank you, Bart. So everybody, have a great day. I'll see you in my next video. Bart, you're the best. We will talk a little bit later. And that, have a wonderful day and stay healthy out there, everybody.
Thank you.